Hello and greetings my friends. If you are new to my channel, welcome. My name is Alicia and today I'm gonna be working in my kitchen, spending a lot of time in here. I'm gonna be working on some breakfast meal prep for our freezer. So I had done a video several months ago where I made several different breakfast options. Well, we only have, I think, like a few slices of chocolate chip brioche bread that I had made into French toast. And I got that from my Aldi haul. I will link that right up here if you haven't seen it yet. But that's all we have. So I wanna make today some waffles for our freezer. I also wanna make some egg bites. So I wanna do a bacon and cheese egg bite with some hash browns in there. So like they're like little hash brown nests that the eggs sit in. I'm gonna do that. And then I'm also gonna make like an adult, I say adult version, because I'm not sure if the kids will like this, but I'm gonna make some kale and mushroom egg cups, just like the ones that you get at Starbucks, but I'm not gonna do like the water bath. I'm just gonna do a straight up oven bake type of egg cup. And then the last thing I'm gonna make are some pancakes that are great for the freezer as well. So let's hang out and let's cook. Here is everything that you're gonna need for our waffles. Everything's laid out, and I will of course link all of the recipes that I'm using today down below. And of course you're gonna need a waffle maker. Okay, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna melt some butter in the microwave really quick. This is 1 stick of butter. I printed out my recipes, but per the recipe, I used to make it half whole wheat, half like regular flour, but I don't have whole wheat flour on hand, so I'm just going to substitute the wheat flour for plain flour. So do whatever you want to do, but that's what I'm doing today. So in my bowl, I'm going to add in 2 cups of all-purpose flour. All right, I got my 2 cups in there. Then I'm going to add in some plain just white sugar, so 2 tablespoons. And I always keep a tablespoon in here because I tend to use like small increments of sugar in a lot of recipes, so I always just keep it in here. I already have my flour, my sugar. I'm gonna add in 4 teaspoons of baking powder. I'm gonna need to get some more here. I'm gonna add in some cinnamon. I'm definitely not measuring out the cinnamon. I'm just gonna put some in there. And some salt. I'm using half a teaspoon of kosher salt. And I'm gonna give this a quick whisk just to break up any lumps. Now I have a separate bowl here. You don't have to do this. This is kind of optional, but it does help make the waffles slightly fluffier, have like a more airy texture to them. I'm gonna separate the egg whites from the egg yolks. So into this bowl, I'm gonna have my egg whites go in. And my egg yolk is going in there. That's okay if some egg whites get in there, but majority of egg whites we want over here. Right, 2 egg yolks. Now I'm gonna pour in some milk. I'm gonna do 1 3/4 cup of milk. And I always have whole milk. That's what I buy. That's what my kids drink. That's what I drink. And then my 1 stick of butter has melted. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna incorporate this first, because I don't really want my eggs scrambling. Well, so it's breakfast time. My kids are hungry, so they're like ready for some waffles. I'm also gonna make up some bacon. I'm gonna make up extra bacon because I'm gonna put some bacon into those breakfast egg cups. All right, now I'm gonna put in my 1 stick of butter. And then I'm gonna do 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. Whoa, that's a little bit more, that's all right. And mix that up. I'm actually gonna take this off camera, let my son, who's right over here, mix it. Go ahead, bud. While I whisk these up. So you can either use like a hand mixer to do it, or you can take a fork. I'm gonna probably just do a fork because that's just easiest right now. Okay, so I'm gonna just start whisking these up a little bit. If my arm gets tired, then I might come in here with a hand mixer. So we're just gonna do this until you see like a ton of air bubbles in here. Just already start seeing like little bubbles pop up. That's what we want. That's what's gonna make the waffles super airy. That looks pretty good right there. I don't know if you can see that, but they're pretty light, really bubbly. All right, so now I'm gonna put the egg whites into my egg batter. Okay, and I'm gonna whisk that in there. I say fold them, you can fold them, but just whisk them. Also, if you didn't tell or couldn't tell, this apron came from Epcot in the France Pavilion at Disney World. And if you guys are not subscribed, you should definitely subscribe. I have some future like freezer meal videos I'm gonna be doing because I'm going back to Epcot. Actually, a girls trip with my mom and my mother-in-law and my aunt. So looking forward to that. Okay, now we are going to make some waffles. So right now I'm waiting for this waffle maker to come to the temperature that I want it at. This is a Waring Pro. I actually got this like, I think in 2012 for a Valentine's Day gift for my husband, and I have been using this ever since and I love it so much. So I'm just waiting for the green light down here to turn on, indicating that it's ready for batter. I'm gonna spray it too whenever it's ready, but I am gonna be using like a little ladle. This is probably like a 1/2 cup to 3/4 cup of batter that it will hold, but we're just gonna basically fill the entire waffle maker with it, and then it'll take about 4 minutes or so to cook, and then I'm gonna put them on some, well, some are gonna be eaten right now, but then the others I'm gonna freeze in the freezer. So I'm gonna lay them on some cooling racks and then stick them in the freezer so that I can wrap them really well later. It's beeping, that means it is ready. So I'm gonna open this guy up here and give this a quick spray. And I'm gonna fill this up. The first waffle always comes out like a little wonky for me. I don't know how it is for you guys, but it's always like the tester waffle, but I'm determined to make this one a good one. So it just gets all into those crevices, close it, turn it, and we wait. Okay, this just turned off. It beeped at me, letting me know it was ready. Let me grab a fork. And that's not half bad. Very nice. Okay, I'm gonna keep doing that. I'm also gonna make some bacon too. So I have waffles going on over there. I'm gonna be frying up some bacon. And you always wanna start bacon in a cold pan. That's what I've learned. That's okay. That's what I've learned, so that's what I've been doing. Or you can make it in the oven, of course. But I'm gonna do extra slices of bacon because I'm gonna crumble this bacon up to go in some bacon and egg cups. And all right, and that's it. That's ready to go. I'm gonna take you back for the waffles. What's on me?
Yeah, I want that.
It's Remy, you want that? I'll try to find you an apron.
Yeah.
Okay, ready? Can you turn this for me? So turn it. There we go. Open it. Yep, just open it up. There you go. Look how pretty.
Oh. Ooh, are you gonna make another one?
Of course, I have more batter. All right, getting this over here.
Oh, bacon one. I was checking for it.
I know. I'll pour it. You can turn it, okay?
Okay. Woo!
I filled that one a little too much. You can kind of see it down there on the bottom. It was like leaking a little bit, spurting out. That's all right. Usually there's like a little silver pan plate that goes underneath it. I don't know where that is.
Okay. I'm okay.
Okay, Quinton, you want to turn this for me? Here, I'll grab it right there. Close it and then turn it. Yeah, nice. Good job. All the way. There we go. Good job. Thank you. This is the waffles all done. This makes about 6 to 7 waffles, and that's fine because we're not gonna have waffles every single morning. My kids are not, and I wanna make other different things, a variety of things for my freezer, so this is perfect for us. I'm gonna allow these to chill, not chill, but cool completely on the cooling rack. They're gonna have some right now though too for breakfast. And then I'm gonna stick these into the freezer and I'll show you how I prep them for the freezer once they are completely frozen. Okay, so I'm gonna stick this in here. You can see I have some bagels in here too, which is another good breakfast option. And then I have all these empty, I always keep my freezer bags. So these are empty bags from past desserts that I've made, and I'll just probably reuse these, like just cross them off and then write something new on there, whatever I'm gonna put in there. But I always keep my freezer bags. So these are gonna stay in here for a while. So to make our Starbucks copycat kale and mushroom egg cups, I bought all of this stuff from Walmart, most of this stuff from Walmart, I should say. So I have some kale that I am gonna rinse and chop up probably a little bit more. Salt, pepper, you're gonna need 10 eggs. Portobello mushrooms is what they use, so that's what I'm using, but if you can't find them, you can definitely just use regular like brown button mushrooms or white button mushrooms. We're gonna chop these up pretty fine anyway. And then some butter, but I'm not using butter today just because I have the bacon fat, the bacon grease back there, but normally we'll use butter, some parsley flakes, garlic powder, or you can use real garlic, and some Monterey Jack. I know that they use Monterey Jack and Swiss, but I'm just gonna try to keep this like cheaper and more affordable, and so I'm going to be using Monterey Jack cheese, but I'm also going to grate up a little bit of extra cheese so that I can use for my bacon and hash brown cups too. So to start, I have a paper towel that I just kind of got a little bit wet, and I'm going to just brush the top of my portobello mushroom caps with the paper towel just to get off like any dirt or extra debris, just like that. Not too bad. And I'm gonna chop these up pretty finely because these egg cups are definitely small. But also these are gonna cook down too whenever I go to saute them. So diced, I would say, is pretty good. I'm gonna do the other one real quick. There we go. Okay, and now I'm going to take my kale and I'm going to give it a good rinse. And then re-chop. Well, I want to see how chopped this is. It does say chopped kale, but it might not be good enough. But again, it will cook down, so let me just give this a look-see. I'm going to use about probably 2 cups here. Yeah, I'm going to rinse them real quick one more time and then chop them up just a little bit more. Just another just rough chop. And I don't really want like the stems in here, like these harder parts. I'm going to remove what I can. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to get all of them, but the ones that are visible, I'll remove them. You can also just tear them too if you want. That is good enough. Let's take you over to the skillet. So I drained off quite a bit of the bacon grease into this mug over here. I ran out of Starbucks cups. We usually use Starbucks cups to pour all of like our fat into and then freeze it and throw the cup away. So I need to make a Starbucks run here soon. All right, so I'm gonna let this come back up to a nice warm state here, and then I'm gonna toss in all of my mushrooms and my kale. My bacon grease is pretty hot now. I'm gonna add in the mushrooms. I'm gonna let the mushrooms cook first for a few minutes, and then I'll add the kale in a little bit later. So I just wanna make sure the mushrooms are coated, and then I'm gonna let them sit and be just like this. And again, if I wasn't using bacon grease, I was gonna be using butter. Or you can use olive oil too. My mushrooms are on the skillet still sauteing down. I'm going to crack 10 eggs into a bowl right here. Okay, I'm gonna add in some salt and pepper. And then I'm gonna add in my garlic powder, or you can use the real stuff by sauteing it. And some parsley flakes. Oh, and I forgot the other ingredient. I'm gonna use about a teaspoon of parsley flakes. You're going to need some cottage cheese. I cannot believe I forgot that. That was the other ingredient that's in their list. If you look on their website, you can scroll down and then there's like a button where you can see all of the ingredients that they use in their products. And cottage cheese was one of them. So I'm gonna use not much, maybe like a 1/4 cup or so in the egg mixture. But first let me just whisk this up. Okay, so I'm gonna start out with a 1/4 cup of cottage cheese. I want to see how it looks when it's in there. So 1/4 cup. I think a 1/4 cup is good. I could probably add like, I don't know, a tablespoon more or so. So maybe like a 1/3 cup. So let's go back over to the skillet. I'm gonna add in our kale. In goes the kale. This a good stir in, and I'm probably going to put a lid on this just to help it wilt down a little bit. Oop. I am a messy cook. Ooh, it smells so good. I love the smell of mushroom sauteing. And bacon, oh my gosh, even better. Let that hang out for a little bit. I grated up some of the Monterey Jack cheese, so I'm just going to use a cup of this cheese. and just whisk that in. And I did end up putting a lid on my vegetables just to help it wilt down more, but they're about ready. And I have my oven preheated to 350. And I sprayed a muffin tin really well with some like baking spray, non-stick cooking spray. And I'm gonna start by putting vegetables in all the cups and then putting the egg inside. Okay, I have everything all set up over here. I'll show you how much it cooked down. So don't be scared if you think your skillet is like super filled. It'll definitely cook down by a lot. Okay, so I'm going to divide all of this veg into 12 cups. So I'm gonna start off with just a little bit, just to ensure that I've gotten enough in each cup, and then I'll go back in and add a little bit more wherever it's needed. So now I'm gonna add in my egg. I'm gonna move this guy. One more final whisk, and I'm gonna be using the little like baby sister for the ladle that I was using for the waffle. This is like such a tiny little ladle. It's so cute. This is gonna be perfect. So I'm gonna do a ladle's worth first and then see what we've got. Got everything, all of the egg is out of my bowl. What I'm gonna do real quick is I'm going to kind of give these a little stir because I don't want just the mushrooms and the kale sitting on the bottom. So I'm just gonna go in with my spoon that I was using to spoon the mushrooms into the cups with, and I am just gonna give it a quick little stir so that you can kind of see some of the mushrooms stick out. The next thing I'm gonna work on while the kale and mushroom bites are in the oven, I'm gonna do some hash brown and bacon egg cups. So I have these from Trader Joe's, and I put these in the fridge last night just to help them thaw down. They're still a little bit wet, so I don't want them to have a lot of moisture going into the cups. So I'm probably gonna stick these into like a tea towel or paper towels and wring out the excess moisture in that. Also, I'm slightly concerned with the hash browns cooking in a metal tin. Now I might try my metal tin that's being used right now in the oven, but I did pick up a silicone, if you can see this, a silicone tray. So I'm gonna give these a try. I think these will just pop out way better. I need to give that a wash, but let me first wring this out. Let me get a tea towel. So like I mentioned, paper towel. Actually, let's do paper towels. I like to use tea towels because I'm not wasting paper towels, but let's just do that. This will be a lot easier anyway. So I'm gonna use pretty much all of this. So I'm gonna kind of make a little wrap like that. I'm gonna take this over the sink and then just kind of squeeze this all out. I got quite a bit of water out of that, quite a bit. So I'm gonna lay it flat on here for a little while just to kind of dry out. A tea towel actually probably would have been way easier. Oh well. So I'm gonna just leave it like this for a second, let that dry out. And while that's drying, I'm just gonna reuse the same bowl. I'm just gonna put regular just eggs, 8 eggs in here, salt and pepper, and some cheese, a cup of the Monterey Jack cheese. So I'm just gonna do that real fast. Oh, that one had 2 yolks in it. So I have 8 eggs in here. I'm gonna drop in some salt and pepper. And then a cup of the Monterey Jack cheese. Gonna give that a whisk. I saved my whisk. I might add in a little bit of milk here too. Yeah, I'm probably gonna add in like a 1/4 cup of milk. Okay, I'm gonna go and wash my lovely silicone pan real quick. My timer just went off. These were set for 20 minutes. A couple of them went a little bit crazy, but that's okay. I'm gonna eat one right now for breakfast. Actually, I haven't eaten anything yet, but these look really, really good, and they're pretty firm. I might give them like 3 more minutes in here, so you might have to bake yours between 23 to 25 minutes, I would suggest. But honestly, aside from these little snafus, these guys trying to run away, These look very good. I'm not going for beauty, guys. I'm going for taste. That should be my mantra. That's the whole meaning of my channel. It's never gonna be perfect or beautiful, but it's gonna be good. So this should come together fairly quickly. I already chopped up my 4 pieces of bacon. My eggs are all set. My hash browns have dried out very well. So if yours are pretty wet, just lay them flat like that after you wring them. And they're actually really dry. So I'm confident this will work out well for me. So I'm going to start putting in the hash browns. I'll just kind of give an example, and I'm gonna press them down into the cup, and then I'm gonna come up a little bit on the sides, like just a little bit. I'm not gonna come all the way up on the sides because I wanna see how much I have left. So I'm just gonna keep working my way all the way around, and then I'm gonna cook these first because these are potatoes, so they need to be cooked very well. So they're gonna go into a higher degree oven. So these are gonna go in at 425 for about maybe 18 minutes. And then I'm gonna lower the heat when I go to add my egg into 350, but everything will be noted. I just realized I wanna spray these too, just in case, even though they're silicone, because I definitely don't want anything to be stuck. So I'm gonna give these a nice little spray in here. And that should really, really come out good. And again, I'm not gonna come all the way up to the sides until I know that there's like enough in my cups. And remember, I do want to try this in a metal pan too, just to see the difference. So I need to reserve at least enough for 1 cup. There's definitely going to be plenty. I was kind of concerned, but nope, there's plenty. So this is about 3 to 4 cups of hash browns that I used. So just an entire package. How much is this package? It says 1 pound, 4 ounces. So 20 ounces will give you enough. Will give you plenty. So my other egg bites are cooling over here. Let me just show you real quick. Here are those egg bites. I told you we're going for taste, not perfection, but that's how they look. They look so good. I want to use this pan because I trust this pan more than any of my other metal pans. The price is obnoxious, I understand, but everything bakes so well in these. So I'm kind of hoping that the hash brown cups will work in this one. These are the Williams-Sonoma Gold Touch pans. I'll link them. Okay, I'm gonna start actually pulling these guys out. I'm gonna run a knife around it. Ooh, these look so good. So it's been a long time since I've made egg bites, but I used to make them all the time way back in the day. These look so good. Oh man, I cannot wait to try one of these. I'm gonna try one of the wonky ones though first. Plus they're bigger, and I'm hungry. So that worked out well. And I was concerned that I was going to need to place a cookie sheet underneath them, but there was no need for that. So, oh, they look so good. And these are much bigger than the egg bites you get at Starbucks. Probably a lot cheaper too. What is the price of them right now? I need to look that up. Now remember, these are also different from Starbucks in the sense that I did not do a water bath, which kind of like, it steams it. So it gives a different texture to them. A lot of people do not like that. My husband do not like those types of eggs. I love them. I love the velvety feel of them, but I understand how someone could not like the taste of the Starbucks bites. But these are not gonna bake like that. These are gonna have a much firmer bite to it. Oh, these look so good. So good. I cannot wait. I'm gonna get this big one. I'm gonna eat this one right now with some salsa on top. Well, no, I can't. I have to finish. I have to finish my hash brown cups. Let's do that real quick while those cool, I guess. Okay, so now that I have a free pan, I'm not even going to clean it or nothing. I'm gonna put some in the middle of one of these cups here. I didn't grease it because there was plenty of grease still in here, so I think that should be enough. I'm gonna take this one all the way up just to see how it bakes. So I'm gonna stick all of these guys in the oven, 425 degrees for about 18 minutes. So I have a little bit of time right now. I took one of the larger wonky ones, which is totally fine. And I'm gonna put some salsa on top of it. Actually, you know what, let's cut into this first. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. It looks so good. I don't know if you can see. Oh, okay, I'm excited for this, very excited. I'm gonna take some salsa because I love salsa. You kind of need hot sauce or Tabasco sauce, whatever hot sauce you use. I'm gonna give these a try. I'm gonna take a little bite without the salsa just to see how it tastes. And you know, the thing with the egg bites is if that's not enough, although one is pretty filling, what you can do is kind of like thaw it out once you've frozen it, thaw it out, chop it up and put it in a burrito so you have a burrito if you want to be like even more filling with a tortilla. So that's one way that you can eat these, but just like these, just eating it just straight up like this is so good. Guys, these are phenomenal. So phenomenal. Promise you, you're gonna love them. Okay, so this I pulled out after 18 minutes. You can see that the edges right here are pretty brown. I just wanted to see, oh, I can totally move it. Guys, I love this pan, I'm telling you. Look at, oh my gosh, so cute. I probably could have gone up a little bit higher to create like little nests, but that's okay. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put a little bit of bacon, actually, my crumbled bacon, down into the bottoms, and then I'll put some more on the top. So just a little bit on the bottoms of each cup. So I'm going to use my cute little baby ladle again. And it is going to go like around the outside, but that's fine. I wanted to make sure that I had enough over here first before doing these, because I did use less eggs, so there's going to be less liquid. Honestly, I probably could have added one more egg. I'm gonna write one additional egg down, but this looks good enough to me. Now I'm gonna sprinkle on the rest of my bacon crumbles. Yeah, bacon. Right on the top.
No.
Oh wait, let me get you over here too. Bacon.
Bacon.
And 4 slices of bacon was plenty, but if you like bacon, but I mean, we love bacon, but if you want extra, then maybe add in a couple more slices. And I already did lower the heat on my oven. It was at 425 when I baked the hash brown cups. Now it's at 350. Now I'm gonna put these back in the oven and we'll take it from there. I'm gonna start off at 15 minutes and then just check it and see if I need to adjust the time accordingly.
What's the noise?
My timer. I have just got these new timers. So I used to work at Starbucks a long time ago. Oh, I should have worn my Starbucks apron when I was making the kale cups. Oh well. Anyway, I used to work at Starbucks and I worked there for like 7 years. And we used to be, like pretty much every person was like assigned a timer basically. And I kind of miss having these timers. So I bought a 2-pack from Amazon. They're also magnetic too, which is really cool. So I'm gonna be using these a lot for everything. I'm talking not even just cooking. I'm talking like timeouts. I'm talking screen time. These are gonna be like my little helpers, I think. So while my egg cups are cooking, I'm gonna start making the last thing for this video, which is the pancakes. They're fluffy pancakes. I believe I have a video. Yes, it's a Goofy movie themed dinner/breakfast video that I did. I made them there. I'm gonna make them again. Exact same recipe that I used on that video is gonna be made here. And the first thing I'm actually gonna do first, I saved this measuring cup from my waffles whenever I melted my butter. I'm gonna just reuse the same cup because I don't like having to use a lot of stuff, a lot of dishes. I hate that. So I'm gonna be making my own buttermilk for this recipe. So to do that, I'm going to be adding 1 cup of milk in here. This is a 2-cup measuring cup. And then to this, I'm gonna be adding in 2 tablespoons of white vinegar. You can do lemon juice too, but I have plenty of lemons over there. Oh my gosh, so many, but I'm just gonna stick with the vinegar. So this is gonna give us over a cup of liquid. And then I'm just gonna let this guy sour for at least 5 minutes. It'll be hanging out for probably a little bit longer than that, but you want it definitely for at least 5 minutes to hang out. So a quick coffee break. So I mentioned that I'm gonna be going to Disney World in the next couple months. So I wanna make, also, not just that, but overall, my goal is I wanted to create more freezer meals for my family to make it easier for not just them, but for me too. I want to make more freezer meals over the course of this year. That was one of my goals. So I want to start doing that. So hopefully you guys like those types of videos because they are coming very soon. But I also want to keep some freezer meals in it for my family so that while I'm gone, I know that they're not like eating out a bunch. My husband can cook. I just feel terrible for him when he cooks. Like when a recipe takes like 30 minutes, it takes him double the time and I feel terrible for that. And then he's gonna have to clean up the mess. So it's just gonna be easier all the way around if I help provide meals. So I'm gonna be doing that. So hopefully, like I mentioned, you guys like the type of videos, and I wanna make more just overall prep videos like this. So hopefully you guys like this. If you do, please give this video a thumbs up right now, just to let me know that this is something that you are actually interested in, because I love doing this type of stuff. I think meal prepping is so fun, but I like being prepared. It just helps prepare us, especially for like a busy season ahead, especially when sports are starting back up here soon. We have church, we have piano lessons, all of that stuff, extra, just everything on top of it. So having meals in my freezer is just so helpful. Even if you're a smaller family, it'll still work out for you. It'll just give you a clearer mentality in my view. So yeah, so anyway, more videos like this to come. All right, I just pulled these out of the oven. This took about 17 minutes. This one was 15 minutes. Now, I'm not sure if it's just because of this is the metal pan and this is the silicone pan. Either way, I'm gonna write down 15 to 17 minutes, just check. But these look so good. I'm gonna pop these out. I'm still curious about this one. Even though I was able to get it out really easily, I'm curious to see how this comes out. Ooh, I can smell the potatoes. Oh, they smell so good. But you guys know I was just trying to do an experiment here. Well, obviously, had I not had put this egg over here, these would have been a little bit more full, right? Which makes sense because these are supposed to make 12. But regardless, I still think you should increase the egg amount. Let's see. Oh, it came out pretty nicely. Oh, that looks so good. It's really stinking hot, but you can see the hash brown down there on the bottom. Now the egg did soak through. That's fine. I don't think it really matters. This looks so delicious. Now I'm kind of hoping one of these pop out kind of gnarly-ish just so we can try it. So I'm gonna pop these guys out. Let's see how nicely these guys come out over here. Now, I should not need to take a knife. They should just kind of pop. Yes, look at they just pop out. Oh my gosh, I love it. Oh. Now, these are stinking hot. I should let them rest for a second, but I'm not going to. I'm just gonna take my knife and pop them out. And the cool thing about these is that you can use whatever, like literally whatever mix-ins you want. So if you wanna add some bell pepper, you wanna add some sausage crumbles, if you'd rather not use bacon or something, spinach, the options are like literally endless. Oh my gosh, you guys, I highly recommend this thing. This is awesome. I mean, that pan over there is great too, but this is phenomenal. Super happy with how these turned out. Super happy. My kids, I know they're gonna love them. I'm gonna have my husband try one of these. This is the ones that he really wanted to try, so I'm gonna give him one. Okay, I just want to pop one open real quick. Cut one open, rather.
Smells good.
Ooh. Look at that.
We'll see.
You can see the hash browns around the outside, the bacon, and on the bottom and on the top. Looks so good. It smells good too. So I have all my stuff laid out here for my pancakes. I'm using 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to melt that down real quick. Our milk has definitely soured. It's been chilling over there for a while. I'm gonna add in my flour. Everything is gonna be mixed in the same bowl, by the way. Okay, so we're gonna do 2 cups of flour. And I believe in my video, I can't remember, I might have made the pancakes like in my electric skillet because I love having that electric skillet. It's so easy. It makes everything super fast. But I'm gonna just do it on the stove right now because I don't feel like taking it out. That's the only downside, is that it's super bulky. So I don't really feel like taking it out. So I'm just gonna go on my stovetop and grill them up over there. And then I'm gonna add in my 3 tablespoons of sugar. Told you guys, I love keeping a tablespoon in here for this reason. 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon of salt. So I'm gonna whisk this up to get out any lumps. Let me check my butter real quick. It is melted. Okay, so now to this bowl, I'm gonna add in our soured milk. So this is like, what, 1/4, well, almost like 1 1/4 cups of buttermilk. Whisk that in. I'm also gonna add in our 2 eggs. Using a ton of eggs like I mentioned today, guys. And I wanna whisk that in real quick because I don't wanna add my butter because it's kind of warm. So I don't want it to scramble my eggs. So I'm gonna mix that up real fast. Okay, and then my butter's going in. So I personally love using both vanilla extract and almond extract. This just adds like a nice like warm flavor to it. Like, I don't know, I can't explain it. I definitely recommend using this if you have it, and you don't need much of it. You're only gonna need about like 1/2 teaspoon or so. Or a little bit more like I accidentally did, oh well, but you're still gonna use that vanilla too. Okay, and then I'm going to mix this and not over mix it, but just ever so slightly combine the extracts in there. And then I'm gonna let this guy chill for like just a couple minutes while my skillet warms up. You can see this is super, super thick. That's how I like it. I want these to be really nice and thick. So I have a non-stick skillet here. I am gonna use some spray. You can use butter too if you want. And I'm gonna make these fairly small. I know some people use like a little like measuring cup or whatever, but this is a spouted bowl, so this is gonna work fine for me. And I do want them somewhat tiny. They're not gonna be perfect, but they're gonna taste delicious. Okay. Let these cook for a few minutes and then flip them. There we go. They look great. Okay, and then I'm just gonna keep doing this and then lay them out just like I do for the waffles on a cooling rack and freeze them before I wrap them. All right, and here is everything already laid out and ready for the freezer. You are gonna need some freezer bags if you decide to do some freezer prep, of course, and maybe some wax paper. That's what I'm gonna need to use for the pancakes for sure. And everything is cooled, so everything's gonna go into the freezer. And how I'm gonna wrap these, I'm gonna wrap these in 3s like this, with wax paper, and then stick them inside of a freezer gallon bag. And then I will write down all of the reheating notes in the description box for you guys. All right, my friends, so that is it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me today in my kitchen. I really loved doing this, and I'm very excited that I have breakfast now that are gonna be in the freezer that I can just reheat super quick for busy weekdays. And if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe before you leave if you haven't already. I would love to have you around, and we will see you in the next video. Bye, friends.